talking about John Warne being the founder of Kimber Manufacturing Firearms. This story actually begins long before Kimber Firearms and Manufacturing was around. It all begins with John Browning. Browning had created and sold the patent for what would be the Colt 1911. The most popular and recognizable pistol in the United States history. The military needed a firearm with knockdown power, so they chose .45 ACP, also known as God's caliber. Take Browning's creation, Colt manufacturing it, all the military contracts and civilian usage. Warren loved it so much, he decided he wanted to start manufacturing his own. The 1911 was licensed out to almost every firearm manufacturer there is, and that's how we get to where we're at today. Warren was raised in a small town of Kimber in South Australia. At the age of 23, he went on to found Sporting Arms Limited, best known as Sportco, and in 1947. At the time, Sportco was the only private gun maker in Australia, and over the next 3 decades produced dozens of rifle models with Warren at the drawing board of their designers. Besides their Martini action guns, Warren's bolt-action models proved popular not only down under, but also on the global export market. Sportco made rifles for Winchester, branded the company's models the .320 and the .325. In 1966, an Oregon-based company, Omark, purchased Sportsco. With the move and merge, Warren transitioned to the United States as an executive, and while at Omark, the company continued making Sportco-style rifles. They also acquired ammo makers such as CCI and Spear, Sights and Optics. That's actually who makes the Weaver, and reloading accessories like RCBS and Outers. In 1979, as Omark got out of the rifle-making business, Warren and his son Greg founded Kimber of Oregon, which continued in the designer's footsteps of producing accurate rimfire and later centerfire rifles. The new company's name was an ode to the elder Warren's childhood home of Kimber, first rifle. The John Warren designed Model 82 started shipping in 1980, earning a well-known reputation for accuracy. The U.S. government purchased 20,000 M82A target rifles in the late 1980s, originally for the U.S. Army in training. Other models from that included the Predator, M84, M89, centerfire rifles, and several variants and grades. Even after all the success with the military contracts, in the 1980s, the company began to struggle after the private stock offering fell short of covering the costs of development of the M89 big game rifle. In 1989, Kimber of Oregon was sold to Oregon timber baron Bruce Engel, who founded WTD Industries, Inc. Engel had difficulty running Kimber, and soon the company sought bankruptcy protection. His employees, including Dan Cooper, left to found Cooper Firearms of Montana. Jack Warren left to open the Warren Manufacturing Company of February of 1991, which began manufacturing a new rifle with scope mounting system. In the 90s, Greg Warren tried to revive Kimber, but much of Kimber of Oregon's original tooling had ended up in a junkyard north of Portland, Oregon. Warren soon found a financial backer, and this would be Les Edelman, who owned Nationwide Sports Distributors. The two purchased the original tooling and partnered to found Kimber of America. The company grew quick, but Edelman forced Greg Warren out of after acquiring a majority interest in the company. While Edelman was partnering with Greg Warren, he had also invested in Yonkers-based Jericho Precision Manufacturing, which manufactured hand tools, mechanical components for the defense industry, which was adjusting to cuts in defense spending. Edelman decided to connect Jericho Precision existing infrastructure and manufacturing capabilities and Kimber's reputation and extensive network of dealers to build a line of the M1911 style handguns. He eventually moved Kimber's production line to Jericho facilities in New York, ending Kimber's presence in Oregon, and the company now has locations in New York and New Jersey. Although Warne was bought out by Leslie Edelman, Kimber Manufacturing and Kimber USA began a very, very huge project with the 1911s. Their forges were running, their machine shops were constantly going, and they turned the American classic pistol, the M1911, into a luxury item. They had manufactured the 1911 in multiple calibers, 9mm through 45, 22, even the Olympic teams using Kimber's product. Tiffany jewelers loved Kimber so much, they licensed out the famous Tiffany Blue just for Kimber America. Kimber had even received exclusive military contracts for the Desert Warrior pistol from the United States Marine Corps Force Recon units. And although John Warne was not in the picture anymore, he left Kimber in a legacy.